Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Different Medness channel. Let's talk today about something we all have in common: 24 hours. Rich or poor, young or old, businessman or student, we all get the same 24 hours. No one gets a minute more, no one gets a second less. The question is, what are you doing with yours? You see, success is not owned, it's rented, and the rent is due every single day. Now, successful people, they don't have a secret formula hidden away somewhere. They don't have an extra hour tucked under their pillow. What they have is a different way of using their time. Successful people understand that the way you start your morning often sets the tone for the entire day. They know that mornings are a powerful opportunity, a fresh start, a blank page, a chance to decide what kind of day it will be. Instead of waking up rushed, reactive, and overwhelmed, successful individuals approach their mornings with intentionality. They don't leave their mornings to chance. They take full ownership of that critical first hour. When you study the habits of high achievers, you find a common thread: their mornings are structured. They don't hit the snooze button over and over, hoping to steal a few more minutes of restless sleep. They rise with purpose, often before the rest of the world is even awake. There's something special about the early hours, the quiet, the stillness, the clarity, and successful people tap into that. It's not just about waking up early for the sake of it. It's about what they do with that time that makes all the difference. Successful people use their mornings to align themselves mentally, emotionally, and physically. Many start their day with practices like meditation, journaling, gratitude, or exercise. These habits help them center their minds, build resilience, and prime their bodies for energy and focus. Before the emails, the meetings, the noise of the world flood in, they take time to ground themselves. This gives them a sense of control over their day, rather than feeling like they are constantly reacting to it. In those early hours, successful individuals often revisit their goals and intentions. They are crystal clear about what they want to achieve, not just in the distant future, but today. They prioritize their top tasks, often tackling the hardest or most important work first while their minds are freshest. This proactive approach creates momentum and a sense of achievement early in the day, which carries into everything else they do. The truth is, if you win the morning, you are far more likely to win the day. Successful people know that mornings aren't just about being productive. They're about setting the emotional and psychological tone that will influence every decision and action for the next 24 hours. If you start your morning stressed, rushed, and scattered, that feeling often sticks with you. But if you start your morning calm, focused, and energized, you walk into the day feeling empowered and in control. It's also worth noting that successful people design their mornings the night before. They don't leave tomorrow's start up to chance. They prepare. They lay out their plans, set their alarms, and even mentally rehearse the morning. This level of preparation sends a message to themselves: my time matters, my goals matter, I matter. In the end, owning your morning is really about owning your life. It's about saying, I choose how I show up today. It's a simple truth. The more seriously you take your mornings, the more seriously you take your dreams. Successful people understand that not all tasks are created equal. They know that being busy is not the same as being productive. In fact, one of the greatest differences between those who merely stay occupied and those who achieve extraordinary success is the ability to prioritize high-impact activities. Successful individuals are masters at identifying which actions will drive the most significant results and focusing their time, energy, and attention on those few things. Rather than getting caught up in endless to-do lists filled with minor tasks, they ask themselves powerful questions. What will create the biggest impact today? What will move me closer to my long-term goals? They recognize that 20% of their efforts often lead to 80% of their results, a principle known as the Pareto principle, and they work hard to stay focused on that critical 20%. This mindset prevents them from getting lost in the noise of low-value activities that may feel urgent, but are ultimately unimportant. Successful people plan their days with intention. They don't simply react to whatever demands come their way. Instead, they carve out time for their highest priorities, often before anything else can interfere. Whether it's working on a major project, deepening important relationships, or improving their skills, they protect this time fiercely. They understand that real progress comes from doing a few meaningful things very well, not trying to do everything at once. It's easy to stay busy with tasks that look impressive but don't actually contribute to meaningful progress. Successful individuals refuse to fall into that trap. They are willing to delegate, automate, or eliminate low-value tasks so they can focus more fully on what truly matters. They understand the power of saying no, not out of arrogance, but out of a deep respect for their time, their energy, and their bigger vision. Every no they say to something trivial is really a yes to something vital. Another reason successful people prioritize high-impact activities is because they are crystal clear about their goals. They know where they are headed, and because of that clarity, they can better judge which actions are worthy of their time. They don't chase every opportunity that comes along. They evaluate opportunities based on whether they align with their ultimate vision. If something doesn't fit, they are not afraid to let it go, even if it might seem attractive in the short term. In their daily lives, this looks like starting the day by tackling the most challenging or important task first, often called eating the frog. They know that if they can win the first battle, the rest of the day becomes easier. They also know that focus compounds over time. Each day spent working on high-impact activities builds momentum, and momentum creates massive results over months and years. By consistently choosing activities that have real power to move them forward, successful people separate themselves from the crowd. They work smarter, not just harder. They create impact, not just motion. And in doing so, they turn ordinary days into extraordinary lives. Successful people know that time is their most valuable, non-renewable resource. Unlike money, which can be earned, invested, and recovered, time only moves in one direction. Once it's gone forever. Because of this deep understanding, they treat their time with incredible respect and guard it fiercely against anything or anyone that might waste it. They don't allow themselves to be pulled into every distraction, obligation, or request that comes their way. They know that to achieve greatness, they must be deliberate about where and how they spend every hour. One of the ways successful people protect their time is by being comfortable saying no. They realize that every yes to something unimportant is a no to something critical. Saying no is not about being rude. It's about being clear. It's about honoring the commitments they've already made to themselves and their vision. They don't accept every meeting, every call, or every social invitation simply because it's asked of them. Instead, they evaluate whether each request aligns with their goals and priorities. If it doesn't, they decline without guilt. Another key to protecting their time is minimizing distractions. Successful individuals are intentional about creating environments that support deep focus. They turn off unnecessary notifications, set boundaries around their workspaces, and establish clear periods of uninterrupted time where they can work on what matters most. They understand that constant interruptions fragment attention and destroy productivity. Guarding these blocks of focus time is one of their superpowers. Successful people also recognize the danger of letting other people's priorities become their own. Just because someone else has an urgent need does not mean it automatically becomes their emergency. They practice discernment, deciding consciously what truly deserves their energy. They know that if they are constantly reacting to other people's problems, they will never move forward on their own goals. Their time is spent proactively building their dreams, not passively solving everyone else's. Planning is another tool successful people use to protect their time. They plan their days in advance, setting clear intentions for what they want to accomplish. They block time for important tasks and defend those blocks like appointments with themselves, appointments they refuse to miss. By deciding ahead of time how they will use their hours, they minimize the risk of time slipping away unnoticed. Moreover, successful people value the concept of recovery. They protect not only their working hours, but also their rest and renewal time. They understand that burnout comes from an unrelenting grind without enough restoration. By guarding their evenings, weekends, and vacations, they ensure they stay energized and mentally sharp for the long run. Ultimately, protecting time is an act of self-respect. It is an acknowledgement that their dreams, goals, and contributions matter deeply. It's a refusal to live reactively. It's a decision to live intentionally. Successful people don't let life happen to them, they happen to life. They choose how to spend their time, and because of that, they shape their destiny. Successful people understand that the greatest investment they can make is not in the stock market, real estate, or a business venture, it is in themselves. They recognize that their mind, their skills, and their character are the true engines behind everything they achieve. Because of this, they make self-growth a daily, non-negotiable habit. It's not something they squeeze in when they have extra time. It's a priority they build their lives around. Every day, successful individuals dedicate time to learning. They read books, listen to podcasts, study new ideas, and seek out knowledge that sharpens their thinking. They know that learning is not confined to school or formal education. It is a lifelong journey. No matter how accomplished they become, they stay curious and open-minded. They understand that the world is constantly changing, and if they are not growing, they are falling behind. They refuse to let their knowledge become stale because they know their future depends on their ability to adapt and evolve. But it's not just about gathering information. Successful people apply what they learn. They take insights and put them into action. They test new strategies, experiment with new skills, and refine their habits. They view life as a laboratory where daily experiences offer opportunities for growth and improvement. Each failure is not a defeat, but a lesson. Each success is not just a victory, but a blueprint for future action. They are constantly fine-tuning themselves, like a craftsman perfecting his work over time. Self-growth for successful people also includes working on their mindset. They understand that belief shapes behavior. If their thoughts are negative, fearful, or limited, it doesn't matter how many skills they have, they will still hold themselves back. So, they feed their minds with positivity, inspiration, and empowering ideas. They cultivate resilience, discipline, gratitude, and confidence, knowing that inner strength is just as important as outer achievement. Another part of daily self-growth is investing in physical health. Successful people realize that the mind and body are deeply connected. They take care of their energy through exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest. They see physical vitality not as a luxury, but as a tool that fuels their productivity and focus. A strong body supports a strong mind, and both are necessary for peak performance. They also seek mentorship and feedback. Successful individuals know they don't have all the answers, and they are not too proud to learn from others. They surround themselves with people who challenge them, who inspire them to think bigger and act bolder. They welcome constructive criticism because they know it is a mirror that helps them see what they need to work on. Ultimately, investing in self-growth daily is an act of vision. It's a commitment to becoming the kind of person who can handle bigger opportunities, who can rise to greater challenges, who can create lasting impact. Successful people bet on themselves every single day, and that's a bet that always pays off. Successful people understand that growth doesn't just happen by accident. It happens through awareness and intentional action. One of their most powerful habits is ending each day with reflection and a commitment to improvement. They don't just let the day fade into the night without thinking about what happened. Instead, they take a few moments to look back, to study their actions, to celebrate their wins, and to learn from their mistakes. Reflection becomes a tool that sharpens their future decisions and keeps them constantly evolving. At the end of each day, successful individuals ask themselves key questions. What went well today? What could I have done better? Did I stay true to my priorities? Where did I get distracted? They are not looking to beat themselves up or dwell on failures. Instead, they approach this practice with honesty and a spirit of learning. They understand that ignoring mistakes only allows them to grow bigger. Facing them with courage and curiosity allows them to correct their course and keep moving forward. This nightly reflection isn't complicated or time-consuming. It can be as simple as jotting down a few notes in a journal or mentally reviewing the day's events before bed. The important thing is that it happens consistently. Successful people know that small, daily lessons compound over time into massive personal growth. A minor adjustment today can prevent a major problem tomorrow. A small insight gained tonight can create a breakthrough a month from now. Beyond just reflection, successful people use their end-of-day review to plan for tomorrow. They set clear intentions for what they want to accomplish. They identify their most important tasks and mentally prepare themselves to hit the ground running the next morning. This habit gives them a sense of control and momentum. They don't wake up feeling lost or overwhelmed because they already know what matters most. Reflection also strengthens emotional intelligence. By looking back at how they responded to challenges, conversations, or unexpected events, successful individuals become more aware of their emotions and reactions. They learn to recognize patterns when they tend to get impatient, when they lose focus, when fear holds them back. With this self-awareness, they can make conscious adjustments, improving not just their skills, but their character. Another important part of nightly reflection is gratitude. Successful people often take time to appreciate the good moments of the day, the progress made, the lessons learned, the people who helped them along the way. Gratitude shifts their mindset from scarcity to abundance, from frustration to fulfillment. It fuels a positive attitude that carries over into tomorrow's efforts. Ending the day with reflection and a desire for improvement creates a powerful cycle of growth. Each day builds on the last, not randomly, but deliberately. Small improvements become habits. Habits become excellence. Excellence becomes a lifestyle. Successful people don't hope to get better by chance. They get better by choice, by taking responsibility for their days, and by making sure each night leaves them wiser and stronger than the one before. So, as we stand here today, let's remember this simple truth. Every one of us is given the same 24 hours. It's not about luck. It's not about privilege. It's about choices. Successful people choose to own their mornings. They choose to prioritize what truly matters. They choose to protect their time, to invest in themselves, and to reflect each day so they can grow stronger tomorrow. Clock is ticking for all of us. The question is not, will you have enough time? The question is, will you use your time wisely enough to create the life you deserve? You have the same 24 hours as every leader, every entrepreneur, every world changer who came before you. The difference lies in what you decide to do with yours starting now. Thank you.